Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another Wellness Wednesday webinar presented by Health Promotion. My name is Rachel Askid, Health Promotion Specialist, and we have some exciting things lined up for today. Today we're talking about the Good Food Box, and we will also have a guest joining us to explain more about what the Good Food Box is and how we can access it. So who has heard of the Good Food Box? As you're saying hi in the chat, who has heard of the Good Food Box here in Kingston? Or is this completely new? We'd love to know. And as you say your hellos, I'd invite Jackie to turn her camera on and to tell us more about Nutrition Month, about the campaign, and about the prizes that we have available today.
Thanks, Rachel. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining this morning. This is really exciting. I'm really looking forward to this webinar on the Good Food Box. I ordered my first one a couple weeks ago, and it was awesome. Woo-hoo. So this will be, I'm sure, a very informative and helpful webinar moving forward to implement perhaps the Good Food Box into your eating pattern. So it's Nutrition Month. March is Nutrition Month in Canada, and Dietitians of Canada's theme this year is Good for You. Dietitians help you find your healthy. So it really speaks to that, to the fact that healthy eating is not a one-size-fits-all approach. Everyone has their own version of what's healthy for them. So you can join Health Promotion this month through our Wellness Wednesday webinars, which you're already doing. And we're very lucky to have partnered with Pampered Chef this year. So Heather Hall, a Pampered Chef consultant, has generously donated some prizes that we're giving away at our Wellness Wednesday webinars throughout the month of March. And the focus of these webinars is, of course, on the Dietitians of Canada theme, Good for You. We also are offering some virtual, well, we're not, but we are promoting some free virtual cooking classes that are being hosted by a local registered dietitian. So those occur Fridays at 2 p.m. And you can head over to our webpage, our Nutrition Month webpage, and the information to connect and register for those cooking classes are all there. And the dietitian is really focusing on some of those recipes that Dietitians of Canada have provided throughout Nutrition Month. And we're also really excited to host a Health Promotion Kingston online Pampered Chef party. So we are offering this online party where you can shop Pampered Chef, and while you shop, you earn rewards that goes into the jackpot. So at the end of the month, that jackpot will accumulate through all purchases, and we will have one lucky winner who can potentially win free Pampered Chef products and half-price products. And we're really excited about that. So you can also visit our Nutrition Month website to access that link. And then we also have some recipes and other past webinars and past cooking classes that we've hosted throughout the year that you can access as well. So thanks for joining us today. And for today's prize, we are going to do a live prize draw at the end of this webinar. And the prize is a rapid prep mandolin. So it's a Pampered Chef product where you can easily, safely slice and dice some of those vegetables from your Good Food Box. So we will be doing a live prize draw at the end for that. So we will ask that if you are not an NPF employee, because unfortunately NPF employees are not eligible for the prize draw, eligibility for the prizes, you must be a member of the CAF community, so DND civilian staff, CAF member, Reg Reserve, retired military member, and of course, family members 18 or over. So if you're interested in entering your name into the live prize draw this morning, we kindly ask that you type your name into the chat. And we also kindly ask that if you are an NPF employee or you have previously won, that you don't include your name in the chat today. Okay, so go ahead, include your name if you're interested in winning the Rapid Prep Mandolin this morning.
That mandolin, I've got my eyes on for sure.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty nice product to do some cooking with some veggies, healthy veggies.
Yeah.
All right, thanks everyone. Thanks, Rachel.
Thank you. So take your time to put your name in the chat. Again, you have the whole webinar to do that, and Jackie will be there looking for your names and preparing for that live draw at the end of the webinar today. Before we get started, just a reminder that the content today is the property of the Department of National Defense. So we ask that you refrain from recording or sharing the slides. We are recording the webinar today, so it will be available to you following today. You will be able to access it and all of the information involved, but we just ask you don't record it yourself. The content is created for those over the age of 18, so we do ask for parental discretion. And in this case, it's really the food advice is for adults, the nutritional information. For confidentiality, the chat is not being recorded, nor are the polls. So know that that is a place where you can ask questions and share things. The only thing recorded are the slides and the video cameras and the microphone. So if you do wish to share or ask your questions over video and microphone, that will be on the recording. If you're viewing this as a recording, welcome. You won't be eligible for the live prize, obviously, but you do have access to all this information, and we will be repeating what's happening in the chat so you have context for the information. If you would like any of the information or the direct links that are being shared during the webinar today, you can email healthpromotionkingston@cfmws.com, and we'll hook you up with all that great information and make sure you have access to these services. Again, the webinar will be posted on CAF Connection, so you're encouraged to review or share with colleagues and friends. Health promotion exists in 4 different pillars, and that's how we provide our content. This content, and Nutrition Month in particular, falls under the nutritional wellness pillar. All of these pillars are standardized across the country. Is a great way that Strengthening the Forces supports members, their families, retired members, and civilian staff for operational effectiveness, but also for quality of life. So there's many different programs, and we encourage you to check out some of the new programs that we do have in person and virtual during the pandemic, and making sure that we're all safe, but we're all still getting the services that can help us live our best life. Some of those in-person programs coming up is Respect in the CAF, Mental Fitness and Suicide Awareness, Managing Angry Moments, and Intercom. So some great programs to look out for this spring. Another great program under the social wellness pillar is Mind Muscle. And so this is another virtual offering that we have in addition to our Wellness Wednesday webinars. This is a great opportunity for people to strength train our brains. So not just staying fit physically, but staying fit mentally, which can be very difficult, especially in these times. So making sure that we're using all the supports and exercises that we can to stay well. So there's 3 ways that you can join Mind Muscle. The first one in the blue circle is our Mind Muscle Facebook group, which features an I Rest every Monday at noon, which is a form of yoga sleep. So it's very restorative and rejuvenating. We have in the red Mindful Minutes Wellness webinars. So every Wellness Wednesday webinar, the first of the month, features a mindfulness concept. And then finally, we have in the green 8 mindful minutes, which is a personal self-directed 21-day mindfulness challenge. So it's only 8 minutes of mindfulness per day, and you have different prompts and exercises that you can participate in. So 3 great ways you can join. You can join all 3, just one, or a few. It's all your choice. And to register again is pspkingston.com. Follow Adults, Health, Health Promotion, and Health Promotion webinars. So we'd like to get a sense of who's joining us for the webinar today. So I'm going to launch a poll, and it should be available now. So please select the group that represents you best. And that way we can really tailor the information and know who's in the room with us, because we can't see you. Awesome. Great, we have a really mixed group today, which is awesome. Some CAF members, family members, and civilian staff. So the great thing is that the Good Food Box is available to everybody. So introducing the Good Food Box, and our guest speaker today to help us learn more and to have a conversation today is Kathy Sturmey. So Kathy, I'd invite you to turn your camera on and we can start diving into all things Good Food Box. It was great to see in the chat that this is new for a lot of people, so it looks like we have some fresh ears, which is great to hear and is awesome to share this new resource with. So Kathy, welcome, first of all. It's great to see you. And the first question is really simple. So Kathy, what is your role with the Good Food Box, and what is the Good Food Box?
Well, thank you, Rachel, for inviting me today to speak about the Good Food Box during Nutrition Month. It's awesome to be here today. So my name is Kathy. I'm the coordinator of the Good Food Box. I've been with them for a short period of time, just 3 years. But I have 13 years working in affordable food access, which the Good Food Box is. The Good Food Box itself has been running for over 25 years now. I met Rachel last year at our 25th anniversary when we could all get together in October 19, I guess it was, 2019. Wow. It feels like forever ago. The Good Food Box is an affordable food access program. It is available to all people in the community. Prior to COVID, it was you would order and pick up at 29 host sites across the region. We go from all the way up to Denby, which is just south of Renfrew, to just east of the base, and Napanee as well. So it's a big area. It's all KFL&A. It's affordable. We purchase it from Deodato, so it's quality produce at wholesale prices. And we try to put a balance of fruits and vegetables in that are mostly common produce that everyone would use. And we do include recipes as well for people.
So you bring in some really good there, and we'll be sure to dive into each one individually. But can you tell us why the Good Food Box was created?
The Good Food Box is an affordable food access program. If I could just quickly say something, I just want you for a moment to imagine who would need the Good Food Box. I think it was originally to address food insecurity in some way. So just imagine who is food insecure in our community. Now, once you got a picture in your head, what if I told you that 65% of the people who have food insecurity are employed? They're in the workforce. So that is an important part of it, and I believe that's probably why they started it. It was to help single moms, people that were, nutrition was not necessarily something they could afford as far as fruits and vegetables, and this gave them the opportunity to purchase it on their own, make their own choices, or for agencies to help others in need. We have 29 host sites, and KMFRC has been a member and a host site since 2003. And that's a long time. Out of our 25 years, you guys have been with us for quite a bit of it. And even now, to this day, the support at the base is really quite good. So the reason we started it was to address food insecurity, particularly with single parents. And but it was always open to all in the community.
Amazing, yeah. So it's really interesting to hear where something begins and how it evolves over the years. So how have you seen the Good Food Box evolve over these, well, I guess 26 years now, this was last year?
Well, interestingly enough, there hasn't been a lot of change with the Good Food Box. It's a community initiative. They have increased their prices once in 25 years. That has its challenges. I mean, it's fantastic in some ways, but in others, we all know the price of food is considerably higher now, particularly fruits and vegetables. And this year is not going to be any different. Dalhousie University puts out a report every year, and this year they're saying that there will be a 6% increase in fruits and vegetables. So keep our prices reasonable. That usually means that I'm sure when back in the day there was a lot of food going into a $15 large box. It's not probably the same now.
Right. So food insecurity, what does food insecurity mean? Is it someone who can't access food or can't afford food, or is it more than that?
It's more than that. It is basically a price thing. One of the major barriers to purchasing food is cost. They have 8 barriers essentially that define food insecurity. For all of us, cost would be probably number one, and that's no different across the board. Doesn't matter what your income bracket is, really. So I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rachel. What was the question?
Yeah, great answer. Yeah. I think it's important that you make that distinction, right? Like it is price, and it's price for everyone, right? That is a barrier to accessing that good, fresh, healthy food.
Yeah.
We can all relate to that. But it's not, like you mentioned, it's not always just the person you envision, right? It could be someone who doesn't have access to a proper kitchen, or doesn't have access to a vehicle to go and get food.
Yes.
And yeah.
Yes. I mean, there are lots of barriers to food insecurity. Basically, what it means is that that you have concerns and you can't put food on your table at least once a month. So for some people, they're great until just before their checks come. That could be seniors. That could be people waiting for their paycheck. It varies on who is insecure. It affects quite a few people. 4 million Canadians, which is 1 in 8 households, 1 in 6 children. Indigenous and people of color experience the most food insecurity, but just precariously employed people, minimum wage workers, contract workers. It is vast. It affects quite a few of us.
Mm-hmm. And it's also to remember that the Good Food Box is not a food bank. So why is it important that everyone in the community, even if people aren't food insecure, are involved in a program like this?
Boy, there's a great question. I think it's really important that people that are not experiencing food insecurity, number one, are aware of it. And number two, that the middle class supports programs like this. We can't do it for the people that are most in need without the support of those who are supporting it for their own health, but also to contribute back it to the community. We've seen a lot of changes this year in particular that we could talk about a little later. But there is none of these programs without a strong middle class saying, we understand the value of this as well. And of course, it has been going on for 25 years. So I think there's good support.
Yes, exactly. It's a great way to support a community program, and you get an amazing box of food every month as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned those changes that have been happening. How has the Good Food Box adjusted and adapted during the times of COVID?
Well, it's interesting because it's almost a year ago to the day that we found out that we were shutting everything down. Like I said, there wasn't a lot of change in the Good Food Box and how it was running prior to last March. But we had already put some things in place. We were working towards putting an online platform in, which would make it easier because there was a big commitment to ordering the Good Food Box. You had to go and order it and pay for it in advance, and then go back again to pick it up a week later. So we wanted to do online to at least eliminate one of those two steps. COVID came and everything shut down, including 29 host sites, including KCHC, which is where I work. We just couldn't see that happen. All of the programming was closed. And that was a problem because we knew food was going to be a huge issue. We started working the following Monday. Everything stopped on the Friday. The following Monday, we started working to get this back up and running, and decided that the best way to do this was to help people stay at home by delivering it to their house. Within that short period of time, we were able to build a very robust volunteer base. Right now we have, I would say, over 120 people have worked on this project that were volunteers, and right now we have about 70. They do everything from phoning people to packing these boxes to delivering these boxes. It's been a big thing. So we are currently, prior to the shutdown, we had about 250 to 300 boxes a month that were going across the region. Now we're over 425 boxes per month, and these are all being delivered to people's homes now. And that's just this box. We have a sister program called the Senior Food Box that has just been initiated throughout COVID. And that box is doing 400, and we have a waiting list for that one. And that is for people that have financially struggling through the pandemic, 55 plus. They have to be over 55 years old. But the Good Food Box, we've secured funding to help 250 families and individuals across the region with a free box. But we also have other agencies that provide for their community. So we have an Indigenous partner, and they delivered, or we deliver for them all over the region. We have single programs that help single parents, programs that work with women in shelters. It is a vast array of people that are involved, and organizations. The online has, people order online for themselves, but they also order for others. And that's been a really interesting part of it, to see that. It's been an eye-opener, that part of it. So it has changed quite a bit over the last year. We look forward to the day that we go back to our host sites, and but we're not there yet.
It's great to hear how the program has expanded over the years, and to see how, simply buying your fruits and vegetables once a month from the Good Food Box can support so many different initiatives that you're working on, and to see that evolve is incredible. Those numbers are unreal, and congratulations to your team for getting online so quickly, because that is not an easy feat.
No, it wasn't.
I think I think this would be the perfect time to show people what that online platform looks like. So I'm going to take a moment to share my screen. And I just ask, oh, I can see it working. Perfect. So Kathy, walk me through how I would place an order on the Good Food Box Kingston website.
Okay, so the website is goodfoodboxkingston.com. You can go on anytime, and Rachel's got it up here for us. So this is the home page. It'll give you a little bit of information. There is information all over it as to what you can expect. Our next order is next Thursday, and this Friday will be your cutoff date to order for next week. So once you get into this, the best place to go is into shop. And Rachel's going to go in there for us. And again, it's just sometimes people will just come straight onto this page. Here's your 4 options below. So the large box is $17 and includes up to about, I would say, somewhere between 11 and 13 items, and they get more quantity. So this is a good box for a family, a smaller family, I would say, probably 4 people. But it's also great if you really, want to get your fruits and vegetables in. Now, when I say there'll be 11 to 13 items, there could be different items, right? So you might get 6 apples, 6 oranges, 6 bananas, but you'll also get 13 items in total, not just fruits, not just those things. The next one down is the small box. It is very similar. It has probably between 9 and 11 items, I suppose, smaller quantities of each, and a great box for an individual, maybe 2 people. I figure that it will probably, depending on what you eat, you could probably make this one last at least a week. The fruit and vegetable bags are just that. You will have about, I think they're averaging around 5 items each. One is just fruit, one is just vegetables. They have different things in them sometimes, especially the vegetable one, than you will get in either the small or the large box. My personal, that's the one I order. I just don't want all the potatoes and stuff like that. So that's the one I order. They're all fantastic deals. I recently went out and bought exactly what was in the small Good Food Box, and it cost me $26.75. So,
Wow.
of course, when you're going to the grocery store, you may not necessarily buy those exact things because you'll buy what's reasonably priced. But that'll give you an idea of the savings that you can get with the Good Food Box. So pick your one, Rachel, whatever you would like to order.
We're going for the large box.
Yes, I would say that's the most popular. So this gives you a rough idea. Now, this is a little bit out of date because it's giving you 10-pound bags of potatoes. We haven't done that all year because we're trying to get as much as possible into these boxes. And 10 pounds of potatoes is a huge cost right now. So normally they will come with a 5-pound bag of potatoes, the carrots, sometimes the 2 pounds of onions. We won't do mushrooms right now because we were actually weighing those out at the site and we couldn't do that with 450 boxes. And the other stuff is pretty well what you might see in your Good Food Box. It varies, depends on pricing, of course, and it also depends on seasonality. So we're going to buy one of these because we think, you know what, this is what I want. You just add it to your cart, just like you would any online platform. You would put in the amount of boxes you would like to order. We're asking people to just take 2 for themselves, but I mean, we would be extremely flexible with that. And like I said, a lot of people are buying it for other people as well. So once you've decided this is what you want, you can view your cart. And even here, if you want to change it, maybe you want to add another box, you can. Like, you can change things at this point. Like I was saying earlier, normally you would have this delivered to your host site. And like I said, the Family Resource Center, it will be. I've already got confirmation that they'll be back when they can. And we understand that is not right now. And I believe we're good to deliver at least until June. And I'm hoping until the end of the summer. And that will give people, number one, the opportunity to be vaccinated. And number two, it's just not the right time yet. We've only had 3 or 4 host sites come back at this point. So we're happy to deliver, and we're glad that we can keep going with the affordable food access. So important, especially now. So because we're doing it that way, we're asking people just to pick the health center as your site, your delivery site. When you get into past this point, it'll ask you for where you would like it delivered, your shipping information. That's where you would put your address in. This is just, you can't move past that without putting something in there. So now you're going to get to the information pages for us. All of the little asterisks beside it, you have to fill those in if you want this to go to your house, or if you want it to go to your office, your workplace, somebody else's house. Just put in the information there, and we'll make sure that it gets to that address. So once you've filled in all of this information, you actually have to put, country is already in there. You review see, I haven't gone past this part. You've got all the information in. You would continue. You would continue, and the delivery method would be next, and that will be again. I think you just put in KCHC for that one as well. The payment is we accept credit cards and those Visa-enabled debit cards. We don't have PayPal, but we don't have PayPal. That's it. I wish I had more to say about that, but I don't. You review your order and then send it. And once you send it, we will contact you to confirm receipt of your order. And on that Wednesday before the delivery, we phone people and say, just as basically what time we'll be around, just to remind people that they've ordered this and when to expect it. And the drivers will they start heading at around 10:30 in the morning, and they're usually done the latest by around 4 or 5 o'clock. Now, I have a question for some of you, because you were one of the people that I actually thought about when this was all happening. The city of Kingston has drivers now, and we have a few of them that will do it after hours, which is between their day starts or ends at around 4:30. So we're looking at them delivering between 4 and 6, because I wasn't sure what the demographics were for the base. If this was something that might be more interesting to you, so that you're home, or you don't have to rush home at lunchtime to get this box. We just literally started it last month, so it's brand new. And I do believe I might have actually had the base as their recipients, but I'm not 100%. So if that is something that is a little more interesting, or convenient, really, for your for you folks, that would be great to know, because we can certainly do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that after hours is great too. And if anyone is interested in volunteering or have other questions for Kathy, you can contact her at that email there too. So I'd recommend that you write that down.
Yeah, we're always looking for volunteers.
Yeah, another great way to support such a great community initiative. Does anyone have any questions about the Good Food Box? Something that's come up during the information or something that's still on your mind? Now would be a great time to ask that. Oh, missed this point. So how often are the deliveries, Kathy?
Okay, so the Good Food Box is once a month. It is always on the third Thursday of the month. So this month it is the 18th, and that's next Thursday. And I think it's April. Geez, I don't know. April. I don't know what it is. The third week.
Okay, I don't know. I've just shared a link in the webinar right now for the Good Food Box. So this is our health promotion page, and we have the delivery schedule there. And so you can access it there as well. So yeah, I think it's the third, is it the third week of the
It's
month?
always the third Thursday of the month. So you just have to look at that. And of course, if you're ordering it online, it's always updated to include the next delivery dates. If you just missed that cutoff, don't worry. I will be in touch and say, did you want this for April or do you want this for March? I mean, we can be a little bit flexible for sure.
Perfect. So for March, Jackie just shared the delivery is on the 18th and the deadline for your March order is the 12th. So today is the 10th, right? So you still have 2 days to place an order for March. So now would be a great time to do that. Since you just went through the website, it's super easy and you'll get that delivered to your home. So any other questions for Kathy? We could go on for hours, I'm sure, to dive into all of these topics, but we appreciate the information you've been able to share with us today, Kathy, and a reminder, like you had mentioned throughout the webinar, that the Kingston Military Family Resource Center is one of those host sites. So like you mentioned, when everyone is vaccinated and when it's safe to do so, that will be the location where people can pick up on the east side of the city. Quite convenient on your way home from work, so you don't have to stop at the grocery store and stand in line. You just pick up your box and you're on your way, and you can have a fresh meal that night and throughout the rest of the week as well.
Yes.
So thank you, Kathy, for joining us. Again, you can contact Kathy if you have any other questions at her email there. And I just invite you can stick around, please, in case any other questions come up. But if you could turn your video off, that would be helpful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So again, the Good Food Box is a really great opportunity to have that fresh food delivered to your home right now. And there's some strategies that you can use to help keep that food fresh for as long as possible. So a couple quick tips here. Has anyone ever figured out how to use that humidity drawer in their fridge, or is it still a mystery to everyone? I had no idea how to use it, so of course I Googled it, and that proved to be very helpful. So this is a little tip on how to use those humidity sliders on the, no, not the cheese drawer, the drawers at the bottom, they have that humidity slider. And I'm like, what is this humidity slider? So the idea is if things can wilt, thinking like greens, kale, lettuce, all those sorts of things, you want to slide that, that toggle to high humidity. If your vegetables can rot, so thinking carrots, peppers, tomatoes, you want to put those things in the low humidity drawer. So you want to have one set to each, and you can organize your vegetables or fruit that way. For things like root vegetables, potatoes, garlic, onion, you want to make sure those are in a dark and cool spot. Keep an eye on them though. Sometimes they can start sprouting on you, and maybe that's an opportunity to go plant them in your backyard and you can grow your own potatoes and garlic and onions. For things that you want to keep crispy, you can actually keep that in a tub of water. So thinking carrots, celery, those types of things. And as we heard, those are very popular items in the Good Food Box as well. So There's some great options that we have with Pampered Chef to help take care of our fruits and veg and keep them nice and fresh as well. So some fun things that I found that I'm putting on my list is this herb keeper. So you can treat herbs kind of like flowers in the fridge, keeping them in a glass of water. But this herb keeper keeps it upright and keeps it safe so you don't spill that glass of water in your fridge all over the place. And these sealed containers are also great to put your carrots or your celery in, filled up with water so they stay nice and crunchy. Or if you're meal prepping onions or potatoes, maybe something with your new mandolin, they can be great to store for the future as well. So you can find those options at our Pampered Chef party. Again, like Jackie mentioned, any purchase made will go towards a jackpot, and then that jackpot will be up for grabs for whoever had made purchases through this health promotion party. So some great options are available there. Now, I think before we get into our draw today, I would just like to share a meal that another health promotion specialist, Jeremy, had created with his first Good Food Box. So to wrap up our Good Food Box, to try and see what you really get, Jeremy had purchased a large box. So we'll watch this short video and see what he did with it.
That was $17.
You can see there's tons of veggies in there.
Let's see what meal I can do with this.
Let's see what meal I can do with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of carrots and onions.
Oh. Oh man.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Bon appetit.
Bon
Thank you, Good
appetit.
Food Box Kingston.
Thank you, Good Food Box Kingston.
So that's just a look into what you can get with your Good Food Box. It's a ton of food, and if you cook all of it at once like that, you have a lot of meals to save as lunches or for leftovers the following day as well. And I think everyone should shop with sound effects like that as well. So again, the Good Food Box is a great way to have local, fresh, healthy meals. In addition to that, I think, if you want to cut as fast as Jeremy was cutting in that video, I think the closest that you're going to get is using this Pampered Chef mandolin. Really easy. You can see you can spiral, you can slice, you can dice. I think it'd be amazing to only cut onions once a week and then have it for all of my dinners throughout the week. So that is possible with this rapid prep mandolin. So Jackie, I'd like to welcome you back to turn your video on, and I think it's time for a prize draw.
So before I do the live prize draw, I just want to say thank you to Kathy for joining us today. I think that was a wonderful presentation with a wealth of information. And one thing that I think is really cool about the Good Food Box is the fact that you know that there are some staple items in it, but it's always kind of a surprise as to what's going to be in the box. So you may be introduced to some foods that you've never tried before, which is kind of cool too. So thank you, Kathy. Are we ready?
I think I'm ready.
My bowl here, and I am going to draw a name. All right. Let's see who the big winner is for today's Rapid Prep Mandolin Prize, and that is Penny. Penny, congratulations. You are the big winner. So we will connect with you, Penny, and we will arrange details on getting that Rapid Prep Mandolin to you. So stay tuned, and we'll connect with you right away. So congratulations. Thanks, everyone. And sorry, Rachel, interrupted you. I know.
There's always a delay, right? We never know. Congratulations, Penny. That's super exciting, and I'm quite jealous. Let us know. We'd love to hear how it works for you. And if other people are interested, again, you can follow that link to the Pampered Chef Party and purchase your own and be eligible for the jackpot. So next week, we have Jackie joining us to talk about, it's Dietitian's Day. So we're talking about how dietitians can help you find your healthy. So again, that's March 17th at 8:30. And I'm going to share the registration link here. So if you would like to win, we're not talking about vegetables anymore, but an ice cream maker, really perfect to have that balance in your life, to have that tasty treat, and to be able to know the ingredients that are going into your tasty desserts. This is a really awesome item to have. And spring, summer is just around the corner, so it's a perfect opportunity. So you can register directly on Demio with this link. We'd love to see everybody there again. We've been having a ton of fun with Nutrition Month so far, and we hope you are too. So finally, we have a poll just to get an idea, a sense of how the information has helped you today. So we'd like to know if you could apply this information presented into your daily life. So there's a scale there, and we'd love your feedback. If you have feedback outside of this poll, we'd love to see that in the chat, maybe topics you'd like to see in the future as we plan for our April and May webinars. Thank you so much for joining us, and I'll just move to a slide with our website. So again, if you're viewing this as a recorded webinar, you can contact Health Promotion Kingston for any of these extra resources, and definitely contact the Good Food Box if you have questions for them. And we hope everyone orders a March Good Food Box, because it's an amazing delivery to get to your door. It's super fun to get something delivered, like Jackie said, and it supports a really amazing cause in the community. So thank you, everyone. We hope you have a great day, and congratulations, Penny. Thanks, Kathy. Thanks, Jackie. Bye, everybody.